Good morning, everyone. Lucky Lefty Podcast. The Anora Boys are in the building, brought to you by Anora Whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com. Also, MalikZaire.com for all your traveling needs during the holiday season.
That's right.
And Anora Whiskey, go to MalikZaire.com. Left, have you ever stumbled upon something that you forgot about? I was walking around the crib this morning, man, and
Okay. Oh, you mean like some like a old clothes or something that you
yeah, something like that. Like, you see like an old Sean John velour suit. You like, ooh,
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to
like,
bust that out.
ooh, those used to be fire. So today, I'm walking around the crib and somebody has left an open bag of Mike and Ike's on the dresser.
Now listen, now Mike and Ike's is a legend classic that's
Bruh,
regional.
I, I forgot, bro. I forgot. I grabbed the yellow and the red one.
Mm.
Now, first of all, that shows you that I just showed a little bit of my culture because that's actually cherry and lemon.
Cherry and lemon, not
But I
banana.
but
That
I
banana
said
thing is new.
yellow and red. That's kind of how we do a Kool-Aid as well. Like
That's right.
give me the green, give
Give
me
me
the
the
red,
grape.
give me the
What
red,
flavor is
give
just
me the orange Kool-Aid, and
give
that
me
is
the
not the
red.
flavor, right?
That's right. Is that purple water sugar?
hmm And then I started thinking about Jolly Joe's. I'm like, man, I think I might have to go to the wholesale candy store in the city, bro.
See, I don't know about the Jolly Joes now.
Ooh, the Jolly Joe's, same company. They're just all great.
Oh, it's a all great candy?
It's all great. Instead of the Mike and Ike's, it's the same thing, but they're all great. Called Jolly Joe's. Man,
Wow. I'm
it
gonna
just
have to
made
try Jolly Joes, but you have to find that at a specific store, huh?
man. Yeah. See, my boy Mario Dunlap, who's in South Bend from Chicago, he said, "Yeah, Mike and Ike's, yes sir, old school. He knows what I'm talking about." Let's see, Lilo, I got Sour Patch Watermelon. Now that's a go-to. Mike and Ike's is for sure a go-to. Ron Tuck. Lilo remembers the great Jolly Joes as well, man.
Mm.
Hey, it is what it is. So today we're gonna talk portal, left. We're gonna talk portal. We're gonna talk wide receiver room and put a bow. We kind of put a bow on the whole Chancey Stuckey thing yesterday.
Yeah.
But we thought we would bring our brother in today. And as always, heck, we might as well call him family, dude. Right? And half of the lucky underdogs on the Believe Network, dude.
That's right.
Okay. If Lucky Lefty is one in Notre Dame content, then Lucky Underdogs is 1A. Or you can inverse it. It doesn't make a difference. We don't mind.
Because
We
what you
don't
said is
mind.
enough meat on the bone for
Yeah,
everybody.
it's enough meat on the bone for everybody.
Hey,
We'll open.
we all trying to eat. We all had good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man.
Happy
We'll
Thanksgiving. Happy
we don't
Thanksgiving.
mind. We don't mind opening up for Lucky Underdogs on tour. It's
That's
all
right.
good.
Nah,
That's
man.
right.
We all here just spreading the love, man. We just spreading the love, man.
First, man, how was your holiday, bro? CJ
Oh
Pro
man,
nice with us on Lucky Left.
amazing. How y'all boys doing? How y'all doing?
It's always good having you on, see?
Man, I'm glad y'all got me, man. It's always good. I always love being on with y'all, man. Always.
So, give us your feelings because we want to allow you to talk about the importance of trust
hmm
in a position room, specifically in the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
But as you kind of like look over everything that's transpired this week, what is your impression right now with connected to what you saw? And we can get to that because Malik has talked about that. Like he knew by watching the games
Yeah.
that something wasn't particularly right.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I think they're all. I think all the guys are in a new system on the offense, new offense coordinator. So just a lot of uncertainty, new quarterback. And every offense kind of ran through the run game was the main focus. So that receiver room, you just seen a lot of inconsistency throughout the year from a lot of guys. You know what I mean? And I guess my feelings from from the guys, I kind of moving on. I think Tyree. I don't really see him as like a real. He a fifth year, so he did his time. He graduated. Like it's his decision if he want to stay or go. And that's kind of up to him. The Merriweather kind of. I kind of could see that just because the young freshman coming stepping up, and he can kind of see that his window of opportunity kind of going away. But as far as the coach, man, that definitely came as a shock to me. But I think just as far as I think the guys are just young. I think we just got a lot of young guys, and it's just we just there's got to be a certain time where it's guys like, hey, we're just gonna step up and do it. It's like because that's where the explosive offense is gonna come from. We got the running backs, and we're gonna be good there. But the receivers gotta have to step up and make them plays.
But let me ask you though, because you have been in that room, you've been in both rooms during the time that you was there, and you see things going on in the receiver room right now that is odd. You see a walk on coming out of nowhere, starting over guys that we've been talking about all off season. You got true freshmen. When's the last time a true freshman is taking over a number one spot that you've seen? Like, what has to take place in that receiver room for that to even happen? Because when you were there, you wasn't letting no walk-on receiver just take the starting slot or to take the extra seat. Like, come on, what is that?
I think I definitely think Jaden Thomas, him being just injured all year. I think that hamstring was way worse than what they kind of told us. It was. And then was it Colsey? Because he was an older guy too, so it was hurt. Did he even play it all this whole season? I don't think he played it all. So like, those are kind of the older guys in the room. I feel like and Tyree had a pretty solid year. So really the old guys really in the rotation that much. So they had to kind of rely on the young walk on who's making plays and the young freshman. Like literally, we were counting on Rico Flores the whole year. Like it's like, all right, we got Rico Flores got to have a good game this week. Like a freshman got to have a good game for us to win. Like that's not how that's really not how it should be going. Like they should just be a part of the game plan. They should be getting their plays here and there, but they shouldn't really be like we need them to have a good game for us our passing game to be working at all. So that's just our issue. I think that, but the good thing for us, those guys got a lot of experience, and next year coming forward, they got a lot of experience going, in that room now. So
how much is continuity amongst, or how does dysfunction amongst the staff impact the players? Because that's something that we've seen exist, and we laid it out. Look, not giving Sam Hartman a pass, but the guy that had the vision that pitched him left.
Left.
The offensive coordinator that pitched him and had the vision for his transition from that offense to this offense left. Jared Parker didn't have that vision.
Yeah.
Now, between Jared Parker, Gino Guidugli, and Sam Hartman, they should have figured something out. Out of the three of them, they should have figured out how to get the job done. However, that situation, you can go back to how, Tommy was even retained when Freeman got the job, and Freeman wanting another wide receiver coach, and Tommy Reese campaigning and getting Chancey Stuckey. Like, it's just been dysfunction and no continuity within the staff and what the head coach wants.
Right.
How does that impact a program and the players, man? Because I think that's something you guys can speak to that maybe we can't understand as fans.
Well, I think the main thing is like the head coach are always going to have that like kind of that not, I wouldn't say demeaning, but he going to be trying to micromanage that side just because he know it's not his guys that he wants over there. So it's always going to be like it's never going to be that 100% trust level because for you to be a successful program, it's got to be a just trust that everybody's going to do their job. And once there's like a little bit of a chink in that armor where it's like I can't trust him to completely do this the way I want him to, then that's where things start falling apart. And and then especially when you talking about an offense, like everything has to be together. Everything has to be as one. And this season, like we saw a lot. It was most of the time it would be like the O-line, the running backs, quarterback. They kind of be as one, but the quarterback, receivers were never as one. Like there was always just never a real like synchronization between the two. So definitely was something there. Even the tight ends, like obviously Parker was a tight end coach, so the tight ends definitely had something like they definitely looked like they had a little bit more synchronization with Hartman. But the receivers never really felt like they had any type of flow going through the whole season.
Lucky podcast. We have our guy CJ Procise on with us, man, and putting a nice little bow on coaching. And look, one of the things that was said, I really didn't witness it. Like I didn't get a chance to go to practice during the fall, but during the spring, I didn't witness it. But a lot of people said, have said that Chancey Stuckey, all he did was scream. And I'm like, well, dude, heck, when I was at practice, I could be on the other side of the field, and I heard Harry he stand over everything. So it's
scream every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So like screaming as a coach is not a big deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did say is screaming comes across a different way when you have the trust from the guys in the room. Like Harry had established trust.
Yeah.
And Harry got that, he got that resume.
Yeah.
That if he's yelling, that means he really trying to, show you that it could be different for you. And I think that, I think as a football player, who can really get you better and who can't. You can just sense it. Even if you don't know nothing, as a football player, especially with all the stuff out there today, you can tell if a coach is a coach or if he's a recruiter.
Yeah.
Because some guys are really good recruiters out here, get the whole room lit. It's a great time. But because they can't coach, everybody is around here like, well, you're just relying on talent. And when the talent is raw and not modified and isn't defined by the coach, you don't have the success you want. So the coach that can't coach is just going to start yelling. Because why else would you yell at somebody if you could really coach him, if you could really take it to Tobias and develop him in the right ways to where, okay, maybe the deep ball isn't there, but maybe his slant route is there.
Yeah.
Because the slant is just as good as a post if you hit it on the right spot.
Yeah, if you hit it and you let him run.
And he's got all the attributes to finish. So it just comes down to making those changes at the end of the day because you're going to need an answer. You can't go in the next year in this offseason with the same room looking the same way. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
Because that's football.
At the end of the day, like, when the players don't develop, it's on the coach. It's like it's really on the coach because he's the one that's with them every day, and he's the one who's responsible for their development. So
and I heard a crazy story on what was it, TikTok, Kyle Slaughter. I don't know if you heard of the Kyle Slaughter story, the QB, the backup QB out of the Vikings camp. And he was saying because, well, first of all, CJ, you've on NFL teams. Every year was a different year, different group of guys in the locker room every year. Yeah. So the transition is there. But he was saying sometimes the guys out of the backups can be so good to where the NFL kind of buries their career because you don't want him being so good and then leave and then he blows up somewhere else because those coaches will get fired.
Yeah.
And that's why they'll dirty Mac you to other teams and try not to get you picked up. And it's not even your fault. It's because the guy that they paying all the extra bucks to is just as good, if not worse, than the guy that's backed up that's not getting paid anything.
They just gotta save they gotta save face, you know.
And that's a lot of what this is going through at Notre Dame. You got to save face somehow, because you can't tell me that the guys in that room with all that talent, especially at Tobias, go up and blow somewhere else. You can't keep chancing. If Tobias go to Maryland or Virginia or one of these Pac-12 schools or like Washington or something, and he goes crazy, he a leading receiver in the country, Marcus Freeman gonna look at Chancey and be like, what happened?
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, how is that possible? So that's exactly why Marcus Freeman had to make quick and swift decisions, because it's deeper than just a guy that is liked on the outside, you know.
I mean, then, you know, he got to think about the future too, because, you know, he also looking at those young receivers like, man, we got something in these guys, like, you know, the Great House, you know, Rico Flores and you know, Faison. Like, we got to make sure these guys are getting developed as well. So if, you know, if our guy we got now ain't developing the way they, you know, the way they should, then we gotta find somebody else who's gonna get the job done.
Yeah, dude, Lilo Galante, that's a perfect example of what they're talking about. Lawrence Keys. Lawrence Keys left Notre Dame. All this dude does for Tulane is just score touchdowns. Yeah, just go crazy. And
that's all he does.
It's a frustration with the wide receiver room. But this is something that I was talking to, I don't know, Joshua Perry, who is a Ohio State alum. You know, he was on the Big Ten Network, and, you know, he was like, yo, I don't know what's going on at Ohio State, because they have the number 1, number 2 recruiting class every year, but the development is not the same as it was when I was there with Urban. He was like, I don't know what's going on, but something is not right. He was like, dude, Urban made sure that every freshman receiver got 10 snaps every game. And he will be on the coaches. Like, it's your job to make sure they get 10 snaps every game. Develop these dudes. And he pointed out that they brought in 3 5-star receivers, and he's like, where are they at? It's the end of the year, and they can't see the field. He's like, yo, what's going on with the development? And it goes back to like what you said, Left. You said the moment you saw Tobias in the middle of a route, just pretty much not even turn his head against Duke, you were like, okay, it's a problem. Like something's wrong. And then when we saw the All-22 from Stanford, and we saw that cat Tobias throw his hand up, and this dude threw a fly route to Rico, who hasn't run by anybody all year. It's like, wait a minute, what are you reading? Like, if you have 2 goals on the outside with single high, how do you choose Rico over Tobias in that situation? It was just crazy, man. And the dysfunction was evident. And it boiled over to the field. It really did. And it's unfortunate. I have confirmed, it's been in the chat, but yes, Left, your boy Holden Stays is on the move.
Really?
He's out of there too?
From the tight end room.
Wow.
Well, I mean, we got enough tight ends coming in. I think it's a better move for him than it is for us losing them.
But Holden Stays remember? Holden Stays when Mitchell Evans was healthy.
Was really solid.
But he got the same treatment. Like, yo, why aren't they throwing the Holden Stays? Like, after that game he had against North Carolina State.
Yep.
It just
I already know it would happen.
Where'd he go?
So, he didn't even play like it. Just played Mitchell Evans like we had 1 tight end on the roster.
Yeah.
And Mitchell Evans balled.
No, he did. I mean, hell, the tight end gonna ball. It's just the fact that all the tight ends were balling. North Carolina State, we were scoring 45 points. We was doing play action more heavily. Everybody was involved. We get after Ohio State game, it's like we didn't know how to call plays, or we felt like we could only trust 2 people, Aldrick and Mitchell Evans.
Yeah. For real, it really was. Like after Ohio State, it was like everything was conservative. You know, I feel like, I mean, honestly, after the Ohio State game, I feel like we should have just that was Hartman's audition. You know, after that, we should have been putting Angeli in at that point.
At that point, especially now, it's like, why is he playing Stanford? Why is he playing?
Yeah, like I mean,
after Wake Forest,
especially after Louisville, it's like, all right, now it's just like, what
now doing? It's like you just here to try to get film to get to the league. We ain't trying to do that.
And honestly, he probably made himself look worse, like in some of them later games, because he just was a turnover machine, like, you know, I mean, and man, you know, it's something with the quarterback position, man. I think that's really where we gotta just. That's really we just gotta get a guy who's gonna be solid, you know.
Well, DJ Uwangagale just entered the transfer portal.
Well, he was able to do that because Jonathan Smith left. Yeah, Jonathan Smith left, so he was able to transfer one more time. He gets a COVID year. You know, he gets a COVID year because of 2020. So he's played 4 years. He gets the 5th year for the COVID year. And with his coach going to Michigan State, now he gets the opportunity to transfer again.
And they're saying we might get Riley Leonard.
That is the hey, that's a perfect segue, CJ. I mean, you segued for us perfectly. Especially with the wide receivers. That was one of the reasons I felt like Chris Tyree left. To go back to your a point that you spoke about. It's like, yo, I have my degree. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I don't know who the wide receiver coach is going to be. Yeah. Like, let me go find somebody I have a relationship with and a situation I can feel comfortable with for my last shot to impress NFL scouts. Like, because this is not the most stable situation right here. And I love Notre Dame, but I need a more stable situation. It really was a sound business decision, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know his draft stock and everything, but I think even if he went to the combine, I think he'll get invited to the combine. If he ran a 4.3, I think he'll get drafted. I mean, you know, he had 500 yards his first year at receiver at a school like Notre Dame. I mean, that's pretty solid. So, I mean, obviously, like going to another school, if he go do his thing, he obviously gonna get drafted high. But just for ND, man, I think it's for them guys in that, you know, that receiver room and just on that offense. It's definitely just a lot of uncertainty for a lot of them guys right now. I think just for even there's a lot of guys leaving. Even, you know, Zeke Guerrero leaving. And then we got obviously a new quarterback coming in. We have no idea who's going to be the quarterback at this point. So I mean, we thought it was uncertainty this year, but I think next year might be even more because at least we had one thing for certain.
Man, it is that quarterback situation because Malik is like, yo, rock with these young cats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, we cannot continue to go back to the portal, man. Like, at some point, you're gonna have to develop your own. And you guys, I understand when you got Ev, Malik, and Deshaun in the quarterback room, it's like, all right, cool. And then later on, you get guys like Gunnar Kiel was in there, he left. You get Ian and Phil Jacoby. Like I said, Phil Jacoby, when he left his first year at BC, he put up numbers.
Mm-hmm. Phil Jacoby was nice his first year before he started.
He got hurt, you know, but he put up numbers. So it's not like Notre Dame hasn't recruited talented quarterbacks, but for some reason lately, the development has really fallen to the wayside. But at some point, you have to get back on the bike, right? You fall, you learn how to ride a bike, you fall, you scrape your knee, you get back up, you ride, and then when you go in the house, you know, you wipe off the blood or whatever and go back outside and ride the bike some more. It is, at some point, Riley Leonard sounds, see, this is my thing.
No, okay.
Going back to we're going back to the same well twice. Like, that's once again, we're going to a small school with dudes that have no idea what it is. Playing a big game against Clemson at Duke is not big games at Notre Dame. It's not the same. And you saw that when Sam Hartman played against Ohio State. This is not the same, dude. It's a different level.
Yeah, no, I would be with, you know, going to the portal for a quarterback, you know, a young quarterback. But, you know, I'm for to do another, to play against a fifth year that we just about to play against, that we played against before, that we did the year before with Sam Hartman. It's like, why are we doing, like, what's the point? Like, we know what he's going to show us. Like, we know, like, I mean, the game he played, he didn't play, I mean, he played against us. He did not play that. He did not play well. He got hurt like the last drive of the game. Like, in that whole game, we didn't do that. He didn't do too much. So I don't know why you would want to go and get the guy who just you locked up. Like, you know, it's like, all right, we locked you up. Like, I don't know why we gonna go and recruit you now. I don't know. To me, that don't make sense. Like, it's like, all right, you know, he ain't show nothing against
recruiting guys we beat. When did
That's
that
what I'm
happen?
saying. Like, we were shooting the guys that we stomped on. Like, we just beat them down, hurt them in the last drive of the game, and just like, yeah, we better than you. And then we just like, all right, now we want you on our team. Like, we want you to be the leader of our team.
The crazier part is Duke is right next to Wake Forest. I mean,
right
damn,
next to it. Like,
we just recruit in the same area. All our talent is in North Carolina or what? Because I mean, at least like Sean brought up a really, really, really good point. Sean's point was that at least Jack Cohn won a Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
And I think we confuse numbers for progress. One thing Coach Sanford said to me that I've never forgotten was, don't confuse hard work with progress. He said you can watch film all damn day. Sam Hartman can have every record in the book. 50 games plus played, up there in the top 5 for touchdowns all time, 12,000 passing yards. But what did he really win? And I really believe it became evident when you compare Sam Hartman to Jack Cohn is, well, Jack Cohn is a winner. Jack Cohn won 11 games playing half the time. Jack Cohn put up 500 yards passing in a New Year's Six bowl game.
Didn't he like dislocate his finger or something and came in and throw us?
Popped it back in and threw the game-winning touchdown. That's what you want.
Yeah, Jack Cohn tough. Jack Cohn tough.
Jack Cohn and he played and had moments. So for us, you know, we tried to get the decorated guy. And I think there's only 3 types you can really get. You can get a decorated freshman, a super talented, untapped potential guy with a year or 2 years left, or you get a guy that's a winner. And the guy that's a winner usually isn't in the transfer portal.
Yeah, because he's going to stick it out.
Yeah, we just got, he's playing. And we just got lucky, to be honest, to get a Jack Cohn because for whatever reason, they thought Graham Mertz was something. And we got lucky.
Yeah.
But if those are the 3 types that are even, you know, in my opinion, a reasonable choice, then I'm looking at our own roster. Our own roster has got the undeveloped talent that can be something. If we put it out there, I believe the only way you can develop is by playing games. Let's just be serious. You can't develop in practice. You can't develop watching film while you're not getting no reps. You can't develop by being a backup with a handset. The only way you can tell if there's development, or you can tell he's going to develop, is playing. And right now, it would throw off the natural order if we sit there and get another quarterback that's not the dude. Because at this point, what are we recruiting if we ain't recruiting a dude and we keep getting transfer portal every other 5 minutes?
Yeah, like if we're going to get a transfer portal, we need to get a number 1 guy who we need to get what's his name, Arch Manning. That's the only guy we should be getting out the transfer portal is Arch Manning, because we shouldn't get nobody else who coming in on their last year to play for 1 year, because it's not gonna work. And I mean, even for a quarterback, it's like it's unrealistic to come into a system your first year and go undefeated or try to win a championship. Like, you don't even know, half the time you don't even know what the hell you're doing. Like,
and the chemistry was obvious. It wasn't a ton of chemistry between Sam Hartman and those receivers.
Yeah, I mean,
Sam Hartman wasn't warming up with Jordan Faison and Rico Flores when he came in.
He was there with the O-lineman. He him and the O-lineman was cool. Like, you can tell that. Like, him and, obviously him and the O-lineman, they had a good relationship. But I mean, the receivers, him and the receivers, I mean, and he was getting paid a lot of money too. Like, the boys, like, shoot, like,
We just show way too much love and respect for guys that play good, not for guys that go win or something.
Yeah, I mean,
we so happy that the man played good. What's playing good over 500? We could have got anybody on the roster to do that.
I mean, he played. I mean, I guess he played. I didn't say he played. I think he played okay. You know, I didn't think he. I think he had some okay games. Like early in the year, we played against some bums. Like, yeah, I mean, you should be going off. But you know, when we get against the good teams, that's where the measure is at. And I didn't see anything when we played against the good teams. So, you know, that's my measure. You know, when the talent steps up, that if you step up, and I didn't see the step up there. So that's why I was like, you know, he just an average guy that we could have. Angeli, I think Angeli was at the same level, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of fans are saying give Steve Angeli a shot.
A shot to do what though? That's the question.
But look, see, this is if Steve Angeli was that dude, Notre Dame wouldn't be in the portal.
That's right.
No, and I mean, I'm not saying Angeli is that dude, but I'm just saying Hartman. I don't think there was a big difference between him and Hartman. Like, you know, and I mean, I know is Hartman planning on playing the bowl game because it's crazy.
We shouldn't allow Sam Hartman to play in the bowl game.
I'm about to say, there's no way he should be playing in that bowl game, like,
because it would be a disservice to the team.
Like we need it should be the next two quarterbacks you playing.
Like he should, even when we whooped up on Stanford third quarter, Sam Hartman need to be putting a headset on and coaching the young guys. He need to be coaching Steve and Kenny. Kenny Minchie should have been in that game.
That game didn't mean nothing. Them young boys should have been in the game from the start. That game didn't mean a thing. They didn't even have the game on TV. I couldn't even see the game. I had to. They got it on Peacock. I'm like, I'm not about to get Peacock.
I had to go to the dark web. I had to go to the dark web and ask around and have a cracked stream on my. You know how to do the most. So it comes down to what's important, Marcus Freeman. Is it important to give Sam a final send off, or is it important to figure out your quarterback situation? Because in my opinion, you got enough time. You wasting time, but you still have enough to figure out what you got in that room before you start chasing dudes that we beating to sleep through the year.
Lucky Lefty podcast. We'll get to the bag. Second half of the show. If you have a get to the bag question, make sure you put GTV. And that's what's up, man. So we kind of changed the order. But you know what time it is left? What's smoking? Yo, what's smoking is this transfer portal. Man, I saw the McMillan kid from Arizona who has a great coach in Jed Fisher. They overachieved as a team in the program. And Fafita, the kid from Servite, freshman quarterback, was balling.
Nice. Yeah, he's not.
And McMillan still jumped in the transfer portal, bro. So this transfer portal bag must be real.
McMillan is the number 3, right? He's number 3 receiver?
No, he's number 1 receiver.
No, I'm sorry, number 3, the number Jonas jersey.
No, 11.
Oh, okay. No, Arizona has some skilled players this year. I mean, and then Fafita. No, I know the quarterback's 11. I'm talking about. Did Fafita leave or did his receiver leave? McMillan.
His receiver left. Fafita's number 1, right?
I thought, whatever the numbers are, the quarterback at Arizona has been a dark horse because he's been balling. Played great in all the games where most people thought Arizona was going to be the bottom of the Pac-12.
Right.
So for him to show and to score the points they do, that's what makes Arizona impressive. They score points. And they have a really good offense because of their quarterback's fearless, man, and 3-star guy. That's what I'm saying. If we're going to treat our receivers how we treating them, let's get 3-star guys because they always seem to pop up on the scene.
I apologize, Lef. You're right. Fafita wore 11 and McMillan wore number 4.
Right.
Them 3-star guys, man.
Yeah, DJ Uagalele, he's back in the portal. He's able to go back in the portal because his head coach left the program. And he's a graduate as well. He's a grad student. So I think that changes the parameters because he would actually be able to commit before the portal opened, like Texas A&M transfer Max Johnson was able to commit to North Carolina. If you're a grad student, you don't have to wait for the official date of the portal opening to commit to a program. So, yeah, the number of wide receivers going into the portal, is it shocking to you at this point that we've gotten to this point, CJ, that wide receivers are really being aggressive and like searching out, like, just like Chris Tyree, positions that are more advantageous for them?
No, I mean, it's not surprising at all. I mean, I think, now in these days, it's like you got to find the right scheme for you too. And it's also a lot of money out there for them to go get too. So it's like, if you're not getting one of, if you're at school, you're not getting one of, if you're not getting one of those two things, at least you're like, at least if I'm getting the bag somewhere, I can stick it out if the scheme not right for me. But if the scheme not right, I'm not getting the bag. Like, let me go test the water out somewhere else. And for a guy like Tyree, he's like, I already got my degree, so let me just go find go look somewhere else. And then a guy like Merriweather, he's like, man, I got a lot of talent. I know I'm talented. Like, I'm not gonna let it get wasted here. That's kudos to him if that's the way, that's how he feels about it. I mean, if you go and get, if you feel like you're not going to be able to live up to your talent at Notre Dame, go somewhere else, because we obviously want the best for you. Like, it's about the players, man. Like, we want the best for all the players. And I know as a receiver, like, we had that year, that sophomore year, it was like, man, they started to count on us, and we knew we had to step it up. And so that's kind of where I feel like they are right now. They just got to take that next level and be like, hey, man, this is on us now. If we want to be a good offense, we gonna have to be the guys.
Let me ask you something, because Malik said this, and I found it interesting. I was like, yo, I never even thought about that. But Malik talked about how him, Ev, and Deshaun were advocates for playmakers. Like, Will wasn't getting snaps, and they were like, yo, man, we need to get this dude on the field, right? And he even brought up Kevin Stephenson. Like, man, every time Kevin Stephenson walked on the field, that dude was beating cats and making plays.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, he has some off-the-field issues, but, that was advocacy amongst the players. A lot of times you say, man, why aren't coaches playing this young guy, playing that young guy? Like, how much leeway should players have within a program to be able to tell the coaches, like, hey, this is a dude we need to get on the field? Because ultimately, if you're a quarterback and you put a playmaker on the field, he's helping you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. We got Sam Hartman and all these one-year guys who don't know who's on the roster.
Yeah.
And that hurts because, a guy like Drew Pine, who advocated for Tobias, but who is Drew Pine? Drew Pine barely got a chance to get in there. So until we believe in a guy, and we can sit there and say to ourselves, we can commit to this guy and build around him, we'll always be chasing offensive continuity.
Yeah, that's really how it goes right there, man. Because once you get a guy center who's like, the receiver is like, shit, it don't matter where he throw the ball, I'm gonna go get it. Like, I'm just gonna make a play for him. Then that's when you get guys. Then that's when the guys getting guys making plays. Like, right now, that's just a guy behind the center right now. There's not really a person they know who he is. It's just a quarterback. It's not like that's that, like, when we was playing, like, that's Malik right there. That's my dog. Like, I'm making sure, like, I'm blocking. Like, I gotta make sure if he got to run, I'm making sure I'm springing him. If he got to run, or if he throwing me the ball, I'm catching it every time. Like, there's no way I'm dropping a pass he throws to me. So, like, you can just see that they don't got that type of, like, relationship, and you don't get that from a guy who comes in for 1 year. It's impossible. Like, and especially you don't get that from a guy who's a fifth year, like, coming from Wake Forest to, you know, and to being friends with freshmen at Notre Dame. Like, they just not going to just mesh like right away. Like that's you just, as a program, you just got to see that you got to have somebody that's there developing with the guys who's in those, you know, those winter workouts and those summer workouts that and for 2-3 years with them instead of just one season and then they right to you know. So you definitely got to build that, you know, that continuity over time.
Look, I don't know. I hope that within the program they understand that, you know, that this 1 year thing is like, CJ, I think you pointed it out. We look at the success of quarterbacks transfer. Just look at Jaden Daniels this year. Man, Jaden Daniels in his second year compared to year one with Coach Denbrock, totally different. Joe Burrow, second year compared to his first year, totally different. So I'm with you, man. If you're going to go get an elite talent that has multiple years.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have the expectation, oh, you need to come in and win a championship.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much for anybody. I mean, there's not a single player, and I mean, like you can't name one player who could have came to Notre Dame and just took us to a championship. You know, like, I mean, I don't. I mean, obviously, I mean, there's maybe Caleb Williams, but like even him, it's like he can't just come in and just win us 12 games. Like that's not easy to do. You know, that's a hard job to do, and then get to the playoffs and win there. So to just think somebody's gonna come in for 1 year and do that, like it's impossible. I mean, I think it's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but I think it's very improbable. Like you need to have somebody come in at least 2 years. You know, that first year they're gonna have their mistakes. They're gonna have they you know, they learning. You know, that they have the games where they mess up, and then you learn from that. Next year, now they know who they can trust in the big games. They know you can't trust tight ends, or you know, you got the line, you want the running backs, and now the offense is clicking. But when you get that first year, you're gonna have it look like it did this year. You're gonna have a lot of guys who calling for the ball when he wide open, but the quarterback don't understand him, like, or you know, you're gonna have, you know, miscommunications. Like we've seen a lot. You know, we're gonna have guys not running full speed because they probably don't even know what the route is, you know, half the time. So that's just how it goes in that first year of the system. So you just gotta keep learning and growing, basically.
We have an interesting comment here. Larry, because I don't want to disrespect you and mess up your last name. Dude, I'm all about respecting names.
Yeah, I feel it.
He said they elected Hartman a captain, so they did buy into him. It was a talent issue, not chemistry. That couldn't be the farthest thing from the truth.
Yeah, I think you're forced Sam to be the captain.
Sam was definitely forced as the captain.
Yeah. I'm sure Sam probably knew like half the guys' names on the team. He probably knew the offensive names, but he probably didn't know. He probably knew like half the guys' names on defense.
Sam doesn't take me as a quarterback that's going out there trying to reach out to guys and have this huge community. That's my guy. I ride with him. I take him to lunch. It just seems like he's been a kid that's received all the necessary resources and benefits that Notre Dame could offer a quarterback position. It's like he got the prize package, the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
You know what I'm saying?
It was just delivered, everything in front at his feet, and it's like, man, eat as much as you want, forget everybody else, and that's the. And we gave him $2 million.
About to say, like, I feel like, you know, Hartman was like, you know, every Friday they was taking him out the roof, Chris, like, type stuff. Like, you feel me? Like,
I mean, we paid this man $2 million to come to be good, not to win nothing, not to do nothing important, but to come and be good.
No. Wait. Correction, Left. We didn't pay him $2 million to come be good. Good. Jack Cohn was good. We didn't pay him that for him to be good. He was supposed to take things to the next level.
Yeah.
Especially in the big games. So that's not just being good. Hey, Steve Angeli can be good against Wake Forest.
That's what I'm saying. Steve, we got a bunch of good talent, but we didn't get Sam. I'm telling you, we believed more in Sam than what Sam's talent actually was. because we as an offense and as a team have just been so desperate to get a dude. And as soon as we saw them numbers on Sam and all the things were sounding right, we just fell into a position where we didn't evaluate true talent. Because at the end of the day, football is about talent. Yeah, the numbers mean something and all of that. But when you have true talent, that's the only way amongst other talented guys that you're going to get over that hump. Notre Dame isn't a team that's talent scarce, where any type of uh, suspected talent, anything that's better than average, we're accepting. Because at the end of the day, you'll get exposed at Notre Dame because everybody is just good. Everybody's just good. Everybody can do it. But we don't have those difference makers that are better than just good. And that's where, we have to either, I really believe that's just about how we run our offense. If we have to make a quarterback the face of the program, because having the athletic director, Ron Paulus, Marcus Freeman got co-head, the face, like that's everything outside of what it takes to get to where we got to go. Look at LSU. They talk about Jaden Daniels everywhere. Yeah. And Jaden Daniels is producing on a Heisman level. So it's just a matter of who we is paying attention to.
Man, Jaden Daniels has taken the pressure off of the fact that Brian Kelly hasn't done too well his first 2 years. Like, nobody's really talking about that.
Nobody. They're like, hey, Jay Daniels balling though. Like,
that's all they're talking about. Jay Daniels killing.
Boy, nice. And like that's but at the end of the day, it's like, and Coach Kelly, I mean, you got to give him props as well. It's like he knows how to put a staff around who's going to develop develop players. Mm-hmm. And that's where Freeman has to take that next step, where he got to find the staff. You got to find the receiver coach, quarterback coach, or whatever, OC, whoever it got to be that's going to take the guys to that next step. And right now, I mean, I guess we just don't have that coach in the room. I mean, I feel like the running back coach is kind of. McCullough, he definitely got them guys moving different. This year, estimate was looking real different. But, other than that, man, I mean, O-line too, obviously. But, we just need to find that staff, also get them staff members who are going to keep developing these players. Because we got the talent, like we said. We got talent. Everybody's good. Like, we just need some guys who are going to be great. I mean, and we got the great talent too, but it's like we got to have the mentality as well.
Lucky Lefty podcast. I'm sorry, I'm trying to confirm something right quick that has not been substantiated because we might have another.
But why don't we take a chance on DJ Unangagale? I think if anything, DJ Unangagale for what we do on offense is very similar to Oregon State, and what obviously we got somebody that has a big arm. We never had that before. How can we manage a guy with the big arm that just needs some better coaching?
Listen, Malik, I mean, you already said it earlier, man. You said, how we gonna go get a guy we already beat?
Okay, that's true. Okay, yeah, okay. We saying that. Okay, you're true.
we beat him years ago. Now we got to hit. That's a I thought we was past that.
He done took the winningest quarterback of all time to the end, though. Ian Book. And we got to remember that was his first year playing.
No, yeah, that's right. It was his first year.
Hey, man. Guys, I know you're in the chat. I'm not really going to dive into it until it's confirmed and substantiated. There's reports out there that another Notre Dame player just hopped into the portal. So,
boy's out of there.
Oh, boy.
It's the world we're living in now, huh?
Man, look, boy. Oh, man. And people are actually trying to downplay what took place in that wide receiver room. Man, look.
Another receiver?
Yeah, that's the way it's being reported.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, them boys are in cahoots then. Them boys is in cahoots because ain't no way them boys is.
Lucky Lefty podcast, man. So what are the biggest needs for Notre Dame as far as the portal?
I think we need man. I mean, honestly, man, I think we need to just develop the guys we got, and then use the portal as like kind of complimentary. Get guys that we need, like the Jean Baptiste guys type those type guys, because the Riley Leonard's, man. I'm not a huge fan of the getting us another quarterback that we already didn't put in the dirt. So let's get some guys to develop.
I'm thinking at this point, I didn't think wide receiver would be a position that they had to go into the portal for, but at this point, yeah.
Well, is it that we have to go into the portal, or is it because I think we need to go into the portal for a receiver coach?
No, you might need to go from a number standpoint, left. Because you want 10, sometimes 11 in the room, in the program. And we still don't know.
So was technically Jordan Faison our 10th, 11th guy?
Yeah, when they gave him a scholarship.
So we basically need. I mean, I don't know, man. I think that it's the chicken or the egg when it comes to the receiver room right now, because losing the coach as abruptly as we did just shows that it was something deeper than just the room not having the talent or ability. But then you look at the room with the talent and ability not reach its potential. It's hard to say it's not coaching, but then it's just an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely interesting. I think if anything, I mean, if we go to the portal for a receiver, I think it needs to be a veteran guy. Got to be like an older guy so we can just get some type of vet leadership in there, even if it's some not even not a big time player or anything, just some type of leadership. We can have an older guy in there. We're just not a whole bunch of young boys, because that's what it's kind of looking like it's going to be right now.
And also defensive line, especially at the big end position, which Devontae played very well, in my opinion, for Notre Dame as a transfer this year. Go get some added depth. You lose Nana Osafo-Mensah. The guys behind him are young. Maybe you move Junior Tuihalamaka over there from Viper. But that's another position I think you go to the portal. Maybe safety. They went and got, two guys at safety. Thomas Harper played well for them at nickel safety. Maybe they go back to the portal for that. But yeah, I can see at least 4 guys, coming to Notre Dame through the portal. All right. Any closing remarks, fellas, as we get ready to get out of here? This transfer portal madness is it's gotten to the point where it is bigger than National Signing Day, which is incredible, honestly.
And it's NCAA, I mean, was it? It's the G League now, basically.
Oh man, that's a perfect reference. Rob Osgood, thank you for the super chat, guys. With MF under JS being forced into coaches. Oh, Swarbrick. With MF Marcus Freeman under Jack Swarbrick being forced into coaches, what do you expect under the new AD, Pete Pavakwa? Do you think MF will get more control that he needs to win?
Is that the case?
Well, I think Pete Pavakwa is coming into an interesting situation where he has to make a decision. Is he going to support the people there, or he going to look to replace and start over? Because right now, how much is his loyalty to Marcus Freeman and Neil Ivey, Shrewsbury, right? Because this is a guy coming from NBC. So it's a matter of Marcus Freeman trying to leverage his place in being there for the time he's been there, along with what is Pete Pavakwa trying to do with the program? Is he giving Marcus Freeman a longer leash, a shorter leash? Is he going to allow Marcus Freeman to see what he can do? That's the question we got to ask.
Mm-hmm.
As Malik and the boys, get on the PS5 over there.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Yo, we continue to get to the bag. Thank you for the super chat. Iris Steel 63. What if they are bringing Leonard in to bridge the first few games till Kenny is ready? My response to that is, have you seen how soft this schedule is next year? Why do you need somebody to bridge against that schedule?
It's always soft till we start playing it.
I see. This is my thing. I'm gonna play this for you. I want to get your thoughts because
I haven't seen the schedule too, so I don't
yeah,
know.
Dude, they play Texas A&M the first game.
Mm-hmm.
They got a new coach. They're losing players in the portal. We don't know how that team is gonna look.
Yeah,
and they were still an 8-9 win team in program, regardless. So it wasn't like you were going up against the best of the best in the SEC.
Yeah.
They play Florida. They play Louisville the last week of September. So that's a revenge game at home. Everything, they got Northern Illinois at home. I think they got another MAC team at home. And then it's the ACC schedule. They don't play Clemson.
Yeah.
They don't play North Carolina. They play Florida State the first week of November. Like, that's pretty much the schedule. And then USC.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, okay, man.
USC probably gonna be low-key buns next year.
So if there's a year to break in young quarterbacks, this is the year.
Yeah.
Especially with the running backs you have. Run the ball, play action, big plays, play good defense. I look, that's the way I see it. So I want your thoughts on this because I thought it was funny. We played it yesterday, but this is Mike Leslie, who is an alum from Texas A&M, and this is what he had to say about Mike Elko and Texas A&M.
And this is my extra point. Mike Elko is the new head coach at Texas A&M, introduced Monday in College Station. A man I actually covered when I was in college, and he was the defensive coordinator at my alma mater, Hofstra University. Now, a decade and a half later, is the man in charge at Kyle Field. I'm excited for Elko. I think he's genuinely a very good hire for A&M, and I think he's the type of grounded, substantive hire that A&M needed after years of more flash than anything else. But Elko, in his press conference on Monday, said something that just doesn't compute for me. He talked about how A&M is going to fulfill their potential as the premier football program in the country. And he said that the best version of Texas A&M wins national championships. And I just want to ask, based on what? Texas A&M, their fans, their boosters, Aggies believe their program should be among the elite in college football. Why? They won 11 games in 2012. Johnny Manziel won the Heisman. It was a banner year for the program. Prior to that, you have to go back to 1998 to find another double-digit win season. Texas A&M has 2 double-digit win seasons since I was 8 years old. The Kansas Jayhawks have stumbled their way into just as many. I'm happy for Elko, and I hope for his sake he has success in College Station. I think he has a real chance. But the idea that A&M should be a premier program in the country, it takes more than money to build that. The Aggies are proof. Maybe Mike Elko is finally the missing link.
Yo, that's hella funny because A&M just got hella bread to spend, and they be spending it.
And no results.
But you know, it's funny because like Houston, the Texans are like the same way. They got a lot of money, they just spending it, and they be just blowing the money. So it's funny that they're both in Houston. They just be blowing all the money on football. That's just some Texas. That's just some Texas stuff. So it's actually kind of funny that they ain't really that good because I never even heard about Texas A&M being that good. And then all of a sudden they're supposed to be this top team because they get all these top recruits that be transferring out. It's crazy.
We got one more from the bag. Tim 4477. Indy is either undeveloped or is it either underdevelopment or poor recruiting?
I think it's more underdevelopment than the poor recruiting. I think we definitely get the talent. We definitely got the talent. Like it ain't nothing to do with the talent at Notre Dame. You get the best. At least, I mean, if you don't get the best of the best, you're getting like some of the best crop. You know, you might not get the top 5 picks, but you getting first rounders. You know, like, so we definitely not lacking on any talent. It's just, you know, definitely got to always the development is one thing, and then I mean the school too, man. It all goes into it, man. It's like, you know, it all goes into it. Not just the players, the coaches, the strength staff, you know, how the teachers, you know, the teachers too, everything, like the professors, you know, tutors, all that stuff matters. Like the food they eat, like it's a lot goes into it. So, you know, I think that's the real difference. You know, I think them schools, Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, I think they got their programs have a little different backing from the schools, you know, as far as some of the things that goes into the program. So that's just my point of view. I think, you know, we get the talent, we just don't have the complete backing of everything.
Do you think if you had to choose which hire is going to be the most important for Marcus Freeman, would it be the wide receiver coach or the strength and conditioning coach?
Strength and conditioning, for sure. For us, because I mean, at the end of the day, like you get a receiver. I mean, at the end of the day, like the receiver coach is going to also be a reflection of the OC. You know, he's got to, you know, whatever the OC's kind of putting into the playbook, you know, and kind of that's really as much, you know, as the receiver coach can do as far as like he can give him some sauce here, but you know, if the OC is forcing him to run 12 yards and turn around, like ain't much he can really, you know, ain't really much sauce he can put into it. So, you know, more so the strength and conditioning coach is going to really develop the players, and he's with them more, you know, a lot of the times too. So, I think that's going to be the biggest hire for sure.
Man, strength and conditioning coach is almost a de facto head coach in the off season. Like,
yeah.
Last question for Get to the Bag. Josh Buffo, the motivational business banker. But what's going on? Does Freeman have to think about giving Shepard or Hartline as OC and we coach and wide receiver coach to get this room right in the league? Brian Hartline isn't going anywhere. Jamarcus Shepard, that ship has sailed. And Jared Parker isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I think 1 year for one guy is not it's not enough to go off. I mean, you got 1 year, your first year at OC, you got a new quarterback. You know, you don't really have any type of any type of, you know, film to kind of go off of. So I mean, I'm with giving him another year before we kind of go looking anywhere else, because I mean, you got to give the guy a shot to at least put some type of system in. You know, guys not gonna learn the system in 1 year.
Lucky Podcast. Thank you to CJ Proysize for joining us today. Don't
That's
forget.
right. See, your hair getting long, man.
It's crazy long, man.
That's commitment right there.
Man, listen, crazy long.
Apple Podcast. What are you gonna do with it, man? Because I remember when I thought about going locks, and then my wife talked me out of it. She was like, "Baby, you don't do a good job of maintaining. Just keep it low." And I have so much respect for you guys that do grow your hair out, because keeping it up, keeping it moisturized.
It's crazy. I don't even have to do nothing to my hair. Like I don't I get it done maybe once every 3 months.
Wow.
I wash it. I wash it. I wash it every other week or something. But like, you really don't. I mean, when I play it, I wash it a little bit more. Now I don't do nothing, so I don't gotta wash it. But like, I don't really gotta do nothing for my hair now, so it's easy. Like I just right now it's long because I don't got it done. But once I get it done in a couple of days, like I won't touch it for like 2 months, and it'll be up. I just get a haircut every couple of weeks, and I'm good. Like
You still got the same person like touching it up?
Oh yeah, I got the same lady. She been doing my hair for like 4 years now. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm
What's the
patient enough.
secret, man? Because I feel like I'll get tired of it, even though I want to.
Bro, the secret is leave it alone, for real.
Mm.
You get it twisted and just leave it alone. And you don't touch it. Like you can put oil it up every day, whatever. But that's it. Just don't touch it. Leave it alone. And it's going, because the more you keep trying to get it done, you keep thinking about it, you keep looking at it, you can be like, damn, I look ugly. This shit don't look right. No, you gotta leave it alone, because for the first year and a half, it's gonna be short. Like it's gonna be then you're gonna hit like 2 years, and it's gonna be like, okay, I can kind of do what I want to do with it now. Mm-hmm. And then like after year 3, it's like, shit, I can do whatever I want now. My shit hanging, like, you feel me? So it's a process. It's a process.
Do you wish you had started earlier?
No. Nah. I think I started, right when I needed to start. It was funny. I originally started growing my hair because I was like trying to avoid getting concussions. I got 2 straight concussions. I'm like, I need some padding up here or something. So
right.
I grew my hair out, and then from there I just started getting the locks, and I was like, hey, love them since then.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, man. Don't forget Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, presented by Twisted Tea. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, this is our first Friday where we're not doing predictions. So no, tomorrow we'll do the customer satisfaction show, because we still have the poll up on YouTube. Like, what's your view of this season? Disappointed? Pretty much what we expected? Or, you still feel like they overachieved? Because, the over-under from Vegas was 8.5. They had a chance to win 10 games. So, A lot of people might still feel like, hey, yeah, we lost 3 games, but we still overachieved based upon what the experts say. For CJ's Pro Stice, Lucky Underdogs, Believe Network, you guys recording today?
No, we actually recorded. Was it Tuesday? We had Ian on. We had Book on.
That's what's up.
Ian, a cool ass dude, man. That's a cool brother right there, man. I was happy to talk to him, because he definitely had he had a different relationship than Coach Kelly than most of us had. So it's good to hear his insight on how his time went there. So real good dude.
So check that out, man. Lucky Underdogs interview with Ian Book coming up, Believe Network. I'm sure it'll be posted.
Yep.
But today?
I'll post it there today.
Yep. Check it out. For Left, I'm SD2 Mics, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Make sure you spin it different.